Mars retrograde. On August 20th, Mars, the planet of action and passion, moved into the very inquisitive sign of Gemini. Now, while in Gemini, you're going to want to learn, share, and verbally spar with others. It amps up the push and pull between defending your beliefs and working towards a consensus. As a result of this, you may notice that your thoughts and ideas and curiosity are magnified. Your communication is quick and hasty, and even misinformation will come back to you at a quickened pace. What you need to know about this Mars and Gemini retrograde for your sign. Hi and welcome. I'm Patricia Tate with willowgracemystic.com. Now, this time period is notable because Mars will be in the sign of Gemini for 7 months. It's going to be parked here until the start of 2023. Mars usually speeds through each zodiac sign for around 2 months, but because it's going to retrograde on October 30th, it will be for an even extended time. Mars goes retrograde about every 2.2 years, so when it does, its shadow period and actual retrograde are longer than the retrograde cycles of Venus and Mercury. Mars will have a pre-transit shadow period that will begin September 3rd, and the actual retrograde will begin October 30th. It will last all the way through January 12th, 2023. Now, the post retrograde shadow period will last until March 15th, 2023. This is a very long time for this rowdy planet to hang out in just one area of your life. So, Mars in Gemini is here to push you to reconcile with what you usually may not have words for. It will equip you with the language to give a name to everything, often with a sharp edge and no filter. This can be both positive and negative. So use caution and be mindful of how you wield this sword over the next 7 months. This is going to be an opportunity to rewire your relationships to anger, courage, and treating others fairly, even as we speak our minds. Mars is the planet of drive, ambition, anger, and sexual passion. It is the planet that gives you drive and energy. So while in Gemini, Mars expresses itself through intellect, as well as your spoken and written words. Under this combination, your mind becomes incredibly active and it hungers for stimulation. Your words are going to have incredible power. This energy can be both positive and negative. Your words can be weapons, and they can also be wielded for good. So use caution and choose your battles wisely. During this transit, you will feel a pull to speak your mind, and your communication with others is going to feel like it's on fire. This will be your greatest asset as well as your biggest obstacle if you were not aware of the pitfalls. So, this time can be a period of amazing excitement, bright ideas, invigorating opportunities. Expect clever and witty banter to draw you in, as well as eclectic people and places. You're going to be more interested in making contacts and connections with others, to trying new ways of approaching things, especially with new and different people. The theme of this transit is freedom, freedom with your ideas and words, to free you and how you want to feel. So during this time, your actions will be driven by your ideas and your information. So I encourage you to use caution to harness your creative energy and stimulate your mind. This is about creating new in all areas of your life. So let's dive into each sign. Aries and Aries rising. As Mars enters Gemini, the everyday tempo of your life begins to pick up its pace quickly. You're going to have an intense desire to identify with your beliefs that could feel incessant. If you begin to notice yourself feeling quick to anger, take a few moments, hours, or even days to check in with your heart center. Your temper may be inevitably running really hot. So take the time to work on breathing deeply, staying hydrated, and practicing the pause. Remember that anger is vital, it's a mobilizing force, but you must remain in control of that fire. Taurus and Taurus rising. This time may be spent disentangling your self-worth from your public successes and losses, and you may feel like unending process. Mars in Gemini is offering to kickstart you with an opportunity for you to confront your outdated stories about your value, your self-worth, money, and material security head on. Resist any narratives insisting that what you have or do in this world is all of you. You are so much more. Use this time as an opportunity to create and write your own story of abundance. Gemini and Gemini rising. For the next 7 months, Mars is amplifying your first house of self. Now, this is going to fill you with the vitality that radiates from the inside out. The planet of action is here to stoke your inner flames that fuel your courage and your motivation. This shift invites a flurry of activity and vigor to your days to transform. If you are not already multitasking as a competitive sport, this mile-a-minute approach to your to-do list starts now. Just remember, you don't have to do everything all at once. Mars is an expert at decisiveness, so prioritize what you want and charge after it, one goal at a time. Cancer and Cancer rising. Mars in Gemini brings the focus to the parts of you that often get pushed to the background, the areas of your life that get frustrated easily and feel like they're not getting enough credit or attention. Mars can be sharp-tongued, making it all the more crucial to bring gentleness to these aspects of yourself. Channel your Mars and Gemini drive and its inquisitiveness. Take time to get in touch with your shadow parts. This can be done with positive affirmations, heart to hearts, yoga, meditation, and creative outlets. Any of these will help you process the feelings that will emerge. Use as these grounding techniques to help you temper the heat that this moment is stoking. Leo and Leo rising. While Mars and Gemini, your 11th house of communal spaces, friends and social groups and communities gets activated. Mars loves independence, and the 7th month stint is going to remind you that this bond is to sometimes take action around a higher purpose. This moment challenges you to balance your interests with those of the group. This doesn't mean that you need to put yourself into the backseat. Simply put, use coordination and communication as your tools of the trade over the next 7 months. Be sure to stay in sync with your groups and your colleagues. Mars encourages you to dream boldly. Trust yourself to take action when the time is right. Virgo and Virgo rising. Mars and Gemini is here to infuse your social status, and projects with a powerhouse full of energy. If there are projects that you've been wanting to take on or are already in the middle of, this time will give you the much needed dedicated space to channel your drive and your ambition. Mars and Gemini remind you of the practical magic that is your willpower, as well as your ability to make the tough calls. You might be someone who has 2 or more careers at a time or in this lifetime, but sometimes you have to choose what to prioritize. Use caution as your efforts are far too important to risk any burnout. Libra and Libra rising. When Mars enters Gemini, your mind is going to be a live wire of connection and expression, firing on all of its cylinders all at once. You may be even more driven than usual to share your ideas or express your views through your creative work. Seek out these places, people, and experiences that leave you feeling like your world has been expanded in some way. Any intentional time that you spend outside of your comfort zone will help nurture that drive coursing inside you to explore, understand, and expand your inner horizons. Scorpio and Scorpio rising. While Mars is in Gemini, you're being drawn and maybe even pushed to get to know your way in and around your outside sources of personal resources in your life. Now, this includes loans, grants, inheritances, scholarships, and any shared bank accounts. All of these topics will take center stage now. You are digging in, or perhaps redefining all of the ways that you work with and communicate in these areas of your life. You may notice that you have a new laser sharp ability to articulate your feelings that you've been carrying around for a while. This time period highlights the ways that you are and you are not willing to take action. So ask yourself, what do you need to feel safe as you process your fear, or to confront the fine print of the resources that others are providing you? Channel this Mars energy, this fiery spirit, and make some time for the things that leave you feeling refreshed and in touch with your resolve and your sense of self. Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. This Mars and Gemini energy is in your 7th house. So the will to compromise with partners, close friends, and clients and collaborators is both the sting and the salve for you. Your communication with those that are closest to you gets stickier, murkier, and sharper around the edges. But look to this time as an opportunity to address your relationship dynamics. Remind yourself that you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Use this as an occasion to express yourself in honesty. Every time you acknowledge the aspects of your relationship that are too sensitive to touch, you're practicing your vulnerability. Take the leaps of faith with partners in your relationships. Capricorn and Capricorn rising. When Mars enters Gemini, it brings rigor to your health, wellness, and your work routines. Mars loves a sense of purpose and direction. So now is an opportune time for you to set your goals. And when it comes to your workload and health rituals, with Mars soon to enter its pre-retrograde shadow, remember that these goals can and should include rest for you. They can and should also include underscheduling yourself. Experiment with practices that help you release the stress. This could include breath work, yoga, long walks, warm hot baths, whatever it takes. Aquarius and Aquarius rising. Mars in Gemini dives in to initiate with fiery energy of your fifth house of creative life. So right now, you have an unquenchable desire to be yourself at all costs, to express who you are and what you are through as many creative outlets as possible. Music, art, journaling, paint. This is you painting a mural, taking up oil painting, taking up any kind of art, drawing, sculpting, collage. Adorn yourself in your most bold and outrageous clothes. Enjoy them. Go out in public with them. Write your personal manifesto to your personal living life, to living your life to its fullest. Seek out avenues where you can be you. Sing, dance, laugh out loud, be creative, try new or new to you activities, crafts, music, or dance. Pisces and Pisces rising. This energy is taking place in your fourth house. You may notice that your home and family life is undergoing major changes and renovations, or that memories, attitudes, and behaviors from your familiar past or childhood, they get activated during this Mars and Gemini 7-month stint. The impulse is to make choices or communicate in ways that you associate with younger versions of yourself. Could start to feel like a dance that you've done before and you no longer want to participate in. The more you give yourself space to process what is rising to the surface, the more you're going to be able to appreciate how these influences play out in your life. So I hope you learned something new. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And to learn more, you can like and subscribe.